The Little Princess and the Stray Kitten. Chapter 1. A meow in the garden. Princess Lila lived in a big, beautiful castle, surrounded by rose gardens, fountains, and fluttering butterflies. She had sparkly tiaras, shelves full of picture books, and a bed that looked like a pink cupcake. But even with all the treasures in the world, Princess Lila always said,
"The best treasures are the ones with hearts."
One sunny morning, while picking daisies in the royal garden, she heard a tiny, scratchy sound. Meow, meow. Lila's eyes widened. She tiptoed behind the bushes, lifted a leafy branch hand there, curled in a patch of sunshine, was the smallest, fluffiest, dirtiest kitten she had ever seen.
"Oh, you poor little thing,"
She gasped. The kitten blinked at her with big golden eyes and let out another weak meow. Without thinking, Lila gently scooped the kitten into her arms.
"You must be hungry and scared. Don't worry.
She whispered, stroking its matted fur.
I'm Princess Lila, and I will take care of you."
Chapter 2. Royal Rules and Furry Paws. Lila ran inside, cradling the kitten like a baby. But as soon as she stepped into the grand hallway, she met her nanny, Miss Rose.
"Princess, you're all muddy. And what's that? That creature?"
"This is Whiskers. She's my new friend. I found her in the garden, and I'm going to take care of her."
"But princesses don't bring stray animals into the castle. It's not proper."
Lila's shoulders drooped.
"But she's cold and hungry and alone."
Miss Rose looked at the tiny kitten, who gave her one sad meow. With a sigh, she said,
"If you're going to care for her, you must do it properly. That means giving her a bath, feeding her, and making sure she's safe."
"I can do that. I want to learn how."
And so, the Royal Stray Kitten Caring Adventure began. Chapter 3. Bubble Baths and Cat Naps First. Lila learned how to give Whiskers a bath. With warm water and gentle bubbles, Lila scrubbed away all the dirt. Whiskers mewed in surprise, but didn't scratch or squirm.
"There we go. Now you smell like sunshine."
Lila said, wrapping her in a soft towel. Next, Miss Rose taught her how to make kitten food using mashed fish and warm milk. Lila watched closely, mixing and stirring like a little chef. Whiskers licked the bowl clean in 5 seconds flat.
"See? She loves it."
Then came nap time. Lila made a cozy bed in a basket with her old baby blanket and placed it beside her own.
"Sweet dreams, Whiskers."
She whispered, giving her a kiss on the head. Whiskers purred softly and curled into a ball. Chapter 4. A Lesson in Kindness. That afternoon, King Papa and Queen Mama visited Lila in her playroom. When they saw Whiskers, Queen Mama raised her eyebrows.
My dear, is that a stray kitten?
"Yes, Mama. She didn't have a home, so I gave her one."
Taking care of someone is a big responsibility.
"I know. I feed her, clean her, and love her. I even cleaned up her little, accident in the royal hallway."
Queen Mama laughed softly.
Well then, little one, it sounds like you've learned a royal lesson. Kindness begins with small acts.
"And small paws."
Chapter 5. Whiskers at the Royal Ball. A week later, the castle held a springtime ball. There were flowers everywhere, musicians playing flutes, and long tables filled with cupcakes and lemonade. Lila wore a glittering gown and twirled across the marble floor, but something felt missing.
Where's Whiskers?
She whispered. She slipped away from the party and tiptoed back to her room. Whiskers was sitting in the window, looking out.
You felt left out. I'm so sorry.
She scooped Whiskers into her arms and placed a ribbon around her neck.
Now you're ready for the ball.
Together, they returned to the party. When everyone saw Whiskers, they clapped and smiled. The royal violinist even played a special song called the Kitten Waltz, and Princess Lila danced with Whiskers in her arms. From that night on, Whiskers became the castle's tiniest royal guest. Chapter 6. Whiskers finds a voice. One morning, Lila noticed Whiskers sitting by the window again. But this time, she wasn't sad. She was staring at the garden, tail twitching, ears perked up. Lila followed her gaze. There, near the rose bushes, were two more kittens, one black and white, one orange and stripy. Whiskers meowed and leapt down. She dashed outside, and the other kittens ran to her, rubbing against her sides.
They must be her sisters or brothers. She missed her family.
Whiskers turned and looked back at Lila, then meowed 3 times. She was asking for something.
She wants them to come inside, too.
Lila whispered. Miss Rose appeared at the door.
3 cats in the castle?
But Queen Mama, who had been watching from the balcony, smiled.
If we have room in our hearts, we always have room in the castle.
Chapter 7. The Princess and Her Paws. Now, the castle had 3 little kittens' Whiskers, Pudding and Nib. They chased feathers, napped in sunbeams, and purred on Lila's pillow at night. Princess Lila made sure they had food, warm beds, toys, and love. She read them bedtime stories, and sometimes they even helped her practice her royal speeches. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Lila hugged Whiskers and said,
You've taught me something very important. Taking care of someone isn't just about hugs and kisses. It's about being there, every day.
Whiskers purred louder than ever. From that day forward, whenever anyone asked Princess Lila what it meant to be royal, she answered,
To be royal is to be kind, gentle, and brave enough to care for someone smaller than you.
And every night, as the kittens curled up beside her, she whispered,
Good night, my little treasures with hearts.